Okay, dear students, now I am going to teach a derivation that is very important derivation. The magnetic force between two straight conductors carrying current. We actually find the force per unit length. Okay, force per unit length between two straight conductors. Firstly, let me draw the diagram. So, one conductor infinitely long, say let it be conductor A. Another conductor separated by a distance like this. That is also carrying current. Okay, let me take the current here I1 or IA also I can take. I will take I1 and here current is I2. Let the separation or distance between the two conductors be D. So let A and B, two straight conductors, infinitely long, carrying currents I1 and I2 respectively. Let D be the separation between the two conductors. First I will take the two conductors carrying current in the same direction. Okay. So now see here, in the previous session class I have discussed, any current carrying conductor produces magnetic field in the surrounding space, and the direction of the magnetic field is found by the right hand thumb rule. If you hold the current carrying conductor in your right hand with the outstretched thumb in the direction of current, the curved fingers around the conductor represent the magnetic field. So now this current I1, say for this, in this diagram it is going this way upward. So field is inward. So right side of the conductor field is inward. Field produced by the current I1 in the conductor A. And the current I2 flowing in the other conductor also produces magnetic field in the surrounding region. So this current I2 produces field inwards in the right side of the conductor and field outward to the left side of the conductor. This current I2 produces a field outward in the left side and inward in the right side. In this figure I am telling. Now they exert a force between each other. They interact with each other. The currents are like or in the same direction, so they attract each other. We can find out how they attract, why they attract. Okay, so now this current I1 produces certain magnetic field here. So I will show that magnetic field. Okay, so this is the portion. This infinitely long actually. I will take a finite length in that. Okay, I will take the finite length this much. Okay, this much is the finite length I will take here of this conductor, say L. L is the length of the small portion of these two conductors. Both have the same length I will take. Now I will take, for sake of simplicity, the magnetic field I have shown. I have shown the magnetic field. So current I1 flowing here produces a magnetic field inward, right side of this. On the side of the conductor 2, A, B, in this region, also there is magnetic field produced by I1. The magnetic field produced by this current I1, right side or in the region of this conductor B is say B1. Okay, so this is the magnetic field of B1 due to B1 is the magnetic field due to the current I1 flowing through this conductor. There is some current here in this conductor that is producing a magnetic field B1. This arrow is shown like this, means it is into the plane of board. Okay. Now this force in this conductor. So there is a magnetic field B1 at all points. Same magnetic field is produced along this conductor, produced by the current I1. Field on the conductor. This current I1 produces a magnetic field whose magnitude is same along the conductor B, because the distance is same and current is constant throughout. So same magnetic field produced all along the length of this conductor B produced by I1. So magnetic field is B1. Now we can write what is the magnetic field B1. So magnetic field, magnitude of magnetic field B, magnetic field produced by in conductor A. Okay, in the region of conductor B, in the region of conductor B, wherever conductor B is there, at that region or on the conductor B, how much magnetic field is produced. So that is given by B1 equal to, we have discussed magnetic field due to a straight infinitely long conductor in the previous session. So that is mu naught I, using Ampere circuit law it derived. So mu naught I divided by 2 pi r. R is the distance. Here d is the distance. So 2 pi d. Okay, current is I1. The current I1 producing a magnetic field B1 everywhere in the region. So this B1 is not because of I2, it is because of this current in the first conductor. Okay, so now this is the magnetic field. Now there will be some force experienced by the current carrying conductor when placed in the magnetic field. What is the force experienced by current carrying conductor when it is carrying a current and placed in the magnetic field? That is BIL sin theta. Okay, so that formula we know. So force experienced by the conductor carrying current, conductor B carrying a current I2 is given by, so what is the expression for the force? Okay, F. So force experienced by the second conductor. Okay, so I write F2 equal to, okay, F2 also you can write, F21 also we can write. Okay, F21 equal to force experienced by the conductor, this one, second conductor B. So that is equal to B is the magnetic field, BIL sin theta. B is the field due to external source. Here external source is field produced by first conductor B1. Okay, I, current in that conductor is I2. Force experienced by this conductor means field is produced by this conductor, current is flowing through this conductor. So B1 I2 L, length of the segment, I have taken only this much length of the segment, it is infinitely long. The conductor is infinitely long, but I will take only portion of the conductor. So that is the BIL sin theta. Okay, so sin theta. Now angle between the current L vector and B vector is, here you see, 90 degrees. So sin 90 degree, BIL sin theta. Now substituting for B1 in this expression, so what happens? Force experienced by the conductor 2, conductor B, due to the field produced by first conductor is F21 equal to, substituting B1 is here, this expression B1 is there now, so this I am substituting here in this expression. So what happens? B1 is mu naught I1 divided by 2 pi d, okay, into I2 into L, and sin 90 degree is 1, so no need to write. So sin 90 is 1. Okay, fine. Now we can rewrite this expression F21. It is only force experience here by the second conductor due to the field produced by first conductor. Okay, F21. So now you see it is mu naught I1 I2 L divided by 2 pi d. So this is the expression. Okay, I will take as this expression 1. This is the magnitude of the force. Now what is the direction of this force? Force means it's a vector, it has got direction. So you have to apply the cross product rule to find the force. So F is force, F equal to I times L cross B. So this is the direction of the force. Now according to this diagram, L cross B direction is the direction of force. L is upward, current is flowing upward, I do not, is going upward. So B is inward. So apply, so this way the force, say first this finger represents, thumb represents the L vector upward. So direction of L vector or current, same it is here, going upward, current is going upward means L direction is upward. Then forefinger represents the magnetic field. So field is into. Then cross product, L cross B. L cross B is this third finger, that is middle finger towards left side. That means the force is this way. The force F21 1 is this way. Similarly, I can write the direction of the force F12. So okay. So now you see the magnetic field in the region of the conductor A due to the current I2. Due to the current I2 is this way. Magnetic field is this way. Because see, straight conductor carrying current going upward means field left side of conductor coming out. Magnetic field is normal outward. Here magnetic field inward. Okay. So the magnetic field B2 is normal outward like this. Now you see, again apply the right hand rule. The current is going up. So L vector, IL vector is upward. Force field is outward. B2 is outward. Then force, this L cross B. L vector thumb shows. Then B shows magnetic field B2. Magnetic field B2. Then force experienced by this conductor A shown by middle finger. L then B. This is the direction of, middle finger shows the direction of L cross B. So this is the direction of the force. Okay, so this is F12. Force experienced by the conductor 1 due to the current in the conductor 2. F21 means force experienced by the conductor 2 or B due to the current in the first conductor. Okay, so this is the direction. How we find the direction? Force is the cross product of IL vector and B vector. IL together we can take. That is the direction of length vector is decided by the current direction. So now what we can write? Similarly, just look at the expression. Similarly, F12, force experienced by the conductor F21 is this much. See the terms F21, mu naught I1 I2 by L. Whereas F12 means just reverse the terms I1 and I2. So I21, I2 into I1 into L divided by 2 pi d. So what this says, equation 2. From equation 1 and 2, you can say I1 I2 here I2 I1. Just product A to B equal to B into D. So I1 into I2 is I2 into I1. So doesn't matter. Therefore F12 equal to F21 in magnitude. But when you write vectorially, it is F21. F12 vector equal to minus F21 vector. Why? The direction of F21 is this way, whereas the direction of F12 is right side. Means directions are opposite, but their magnitudes are equal. F21 vector and F12 vector are shown equal length. That means their magnitudes are equal. So F12 vector, F21 vector are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. We have studied in Coulomb's law that obeys or satisfies Newton's third law of motion. Same way here also. Two conductors carrying current obey Newton's third law. That is action and reaction pair. That means force experienced by conductor 2 by the current in conductor 1 is equal to the force experienced by the conductor 1 by the current in the conductor 2. But opposite in direction. F12 and F21 are in opposite in direction. Their magnitudes are equal. Now we can also define force per unit length. Force per unit length. Force per unit length F12 equal to F21 equal to. So small f I will show for force per unit length. Okay, so that is equal to F force F21 divided by length. So what is the force divided by length? F12 F21 are equal in expression. So divide by length means take L to the LHS. So therefore it is equal to mu naught I1 I2 divided by L is taken to the LHS. F21 divided by L or F12 divided by L. Mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi d. So this is the expression for force per unit length. So you have to write this expression. Magnitudes of force produced by two conductors, infinitely long conductors carrying current are equal in magnitude, opposite in direction. Hence F12 vector is equal to minus F21 vector. So that says Newton's third law, equal and opposite. This says only magnitudes are equal, whereas this expression says magnitudes are equal, vector expression is, so directions are opposite. So this is what the derivation, force between two parallel infinitely long, two force between two infinitely long parallel straight conductors. Parallel straight conductors carrying current. Parallel conductors carrying current. So currents are in the same direction we have chosen. If the currents are in opposite direction, suppose this current is upward and this current is downward, otherwise this is downward, this is upward, so then the force will be opposite. That means there will be repulsive force. The force will come opposite direction. Okay, here forces attractive. So question can be, if the two currents are like currents, the two conductors attract each other. If the currents are unlike, means one upward, one downward, one going up, another conductor opposite direction, then the two conductors repel each other. They try to go away from each other, so they repel each other. Okay, that's the idea. So that is, like currents attract and unlike currents repel each other. Okay, so like currents attract each other in this case, unlike currents attract each other. This is quite opposite to the rule. Unlike poles of magnets attract, whereas like poles repel. Here like currents attract, unlike currents repel. In magnet and charge, positive charge, both positive charge or both negative charge, they repel. Like charges repel. Here like currents attract, unlike currents repel, whereas unlike charges or unlike poles of the magnet attract. So that is the quite opposite rule here. Okay, you cannot by heart that rule, you have to keep in mind, it's reverse rule. Now we define one definition, very important definition of 1 ampere, unit current 1 ampere. So based on this expression, we can define a 1 ampere current. Suppose if I take definition of 1 ampere. Definition of ampere. Definition of 1 ampere. I can say unit current. It is ampere. SI unit of current is ampere. 1 ampere is equal to 1 coulomb per 1 second. If 1 coulomb of charge flows in a conductor per 1 second time, then we can say 1 ampere. But based on the question will be derive the force between, or obtain the force between two infinitely long straight parallel conductors carrying current, and hence define ampere. Hence define ampere means, based on the derivations done here, you have to define the 1 ampere current. Okay, see the expression here, F21 or F12, force per unit length. This is called a force per unit length. F21 or F12 is the force experienced by the conductor of length L divided by length. If you take 10 cm length, how much force? Say 1 Newton. 1 Newton by 10 cm, 0.1. So 10 Newton per meter, that is the force per unit length. Okay, so then that mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi, this is the expression. Now based on this definition, I say F12 force per unit length F12 or F21 equal to mu naught I1 I2 divided by 2 pi d. This is the expression. Now in this expression, if I choose so current I1 equal to I2 equal to 1 ampere, okay, and the separation d equal to 1 meter in vacuum, okay, in vacuum or air or free space, okay, vacuum or air or free space. Free space or vacuum is same, air also it is approximately same force. Okay, so what I get in this expression, then F21 or F12, force per unit length. This is the force per unit length. Force per unit length on each of the conductor is mu naught I1 I2 by 2 pi d. So that is equal to F21 or F12 equal to force per unit length equal to mu naught. Mu naught is 4 pi into 10 power minus 7. Then current I1 is 1, current I2 is also 1 divided by 2 pi, okay, 2 pi into d is 1 meter in vacuum. Okay, so then what happens to this expression? 4 pi by 2 pi is 2, 4 pi by 2 pi is 2, 10 power minus 7, 10 power minus 7, 1 into 1 and divided by 1 is 1 only. So this much. And the force per unit length, I have seen, shown here, Newton, this is meter, so Newton per meter. So unit is Newton per meter, this one. Force per unit length, Newton meter, or Newton per meter. So now definition of 1 ampere, based on this formula derivation. How? Suppose you choose this conductor carrying 1 ampere current, infinitely long. This is also carrying 1 ampere current. Okay. Now they are separated by distance 1 meter. If this gap or distance, parallel conductors means always distance will be 1 meter between each other. And okay, 1 meter separation is there. Now force per unit length. You take 1 meter length of this conductor. From here to here, say 1 meter length. Okay, L is 1 meter you choose. Then what is the force per unit length? This much. Force on each segment of this conductor or this conductor will be equal to 2 into 10 power minus 7 Newton per meter. Means 1 meter segment of this conductor. It's infinitely longer. It may be 100 kilometer length. That doesn't want, I don't want that one. I will take 1 meter length of the conductor, keep two conductors separated by 1 meter separation, 1 meter distance away from each other, and I maintain a current of 1 ampere in each conductor, and their cross section, thickness, negligible, and I place them in vacuum or free space or in air. So then what this force per unit length will be? Force per unit length will be 2 into 10 power minus 7. So they attract each other if the currents are like with this much force. If 1 meter conductor is taken. So they attract each other with a force of 2 into 10 power minus 7 Newton per meter. That means the current 1 ampere, statement of 1 ampere, definition of 1 ampere is like this. In this topic, hence define ampere means you have to state the definition 1 ampere like this. So 1 ampere is that steady current maintained in two straight infinitely long parallel conductors. Two straight infinitely long parallel conductors separated by distance 1 meter in vacuum, having negligible thickness or negligible cross sectional area, would produce a force of 2 into 10 power minus 7 Newton per meter on each other. So each of them would experience a force of this much value Newton per meter. Per unit length, this much force they experience. I repeat, 1 meter is that steady current which when maintained in two straight infinitely long parallel conductors of negligible cross section separated by distance of 1 meter, in vacuum. The term vacuum is important, or free space or air also at least. So in vacuum would produce a force of 2 into 10 power minus 7 Newton per unit length, Newton per meter on each other. So this is the force the two conductors of 1 meter length would experience when you maintain a steady current of 1 ampere in each of the conductors, and when they are separated by distance of 1 meter in vacuum. The conductors must be parallel infinitely long. Separation is 1 meter. They must be placed in vacuum or free space or air. The current maintained in each of them is say 1 ampere. Then they would experience a force of this much. That is 2 into 10 power minus 7 Newton per meter. This much small amount of force between the two conductors of 1 meter length. This length is 1 meter. So this is all about the derivation and the definition of 1 ampere. Very important derivation for 5 marks. Derive the expression and hence define 1 ampere current. Okay. So for this diagram is compulsory. First to draw the diagram with the two conductors in the same carrying current in the same direction, infinitely long is dotted line here show. Here show A and B or 1 and 2. Separation you can take D also, or also take force and magnetic field inward. That B1 is the field produced by current I1, whereas B2 is the field produced by the current I2. Current in the second conductor produces a field P2. So now both of them producing field in the surrounding region. So this conductor experiences a magnetic force due to the current flowing in this conductor. Same way, similarly, the current flowing in the second conductor produces a magnetic force on the conductor 1. That is what we studied in the previous first or second class in this chapter. That is, when a current carrying conductor placed in a region where magnetic field is there, that will experience a magnetic force, and that magnetic force F vector equal to I times L cross B. It is a vector expression. That means it has got direction, magnetic force, what direction the magnetic force is there, that I have discussed. So based on that derivation I can find the direction. So like currents attract each other. If the currents one up and one down, forces will be away from each other, force will be outward, that means they repel each other. And this formula or this derivation says that the magnetic forces on the two conductors obey Newton's third law, that is forces are equal in magnitude and opposite in direction. Mathematically we can write F12 vector equal to minus F21 vector. Okay, vectorially magnitudes are equal, directions are opposite. Finally you have to write the expression for the force per unit length. So important in the definition, free space or vacuum compulsorily you have to maintain and mention, and also Newton per meter, force per unit length of, they would experience a force per unit length of 2 into 10 power minus 7 Newton per meter. This minus 7 also very important. If you don't write this minus also, marks will be deducted for the definition. Vacuum is missing in the definition, mark will be deducted. So 1 ampere current is the steady current which when maintained in two straight infinitely long parallel conductors carrying current of negligible thickness separated by distance of 1 meter in vacuum would produce a force of 2 into 10 power minus 7 Newton per meter length. This is the ampere definition. That's all about this topic. In next class I will go to the next topic. That's all.